Alright, back in the lovely outdoors. Yeah, it really is. I suppose for the people that do the holiday thing, this is very nice, because we have all these nice snowy days with the Christmas lights and all the, la 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 la. So, very good for them. But it doesn't do me much good. I don't find this stuff very useful. Anyway, yeah, not at all. So video. Yeah, I guess I'll just use this as a update style video. I had the conversation with Anti-Bullshit Man, and we have sort of agreed to, try to make this a routine event, these conversations, and we'll see if we can attempt to up the game a little through this process, and we'll see what happens. So that part's good. There is a MP3 file that has part of part 2 on it, and I guess what would be called part 3, and some of that conversation is interesting. It's sort of about video versus text versus all this stuff, where it really is, when the sun's bouncing about, it is it's kind of nice. Anyway, but it's just horrible for, it's jeopardizing my welfare as I have to navigate through it. So yeah, I'll link that below just in case, and it's on the website and all that kind of crap, no doubt, and you should be able to find this stuff anyway, reasonably. So what else? Oh yeah, and so he was rightfully pissed off because I made a mistake in a video reading somebody else's comment, but you could see in the video the comment I was reading, and you could see that it's not his comment. So I mean, it's not that catastrophic a problem. So yeah, but I mean, he shouldn't be implied that he has the beliefs of the person making the comment. So in that sense, he's correct. I don't think I'll go back and bother fixing it. Shit happens, mistakes happen. My apology for whatever. Yeah, seeing your name on the comment, and I did. It's the new Google thing. You got to get used to that. Where they put the double name thing on there, and it's confused me, and I made a mistake. But I don't think it was entirely catastrophic. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think some of the same arguments were in his comment in some respects, taking out the determinism part, and apparently the reference to the fallacy of the logical fallacy of oversimplification, which is not a logical fallacy. Somebody else left a link saying, well, you can't, not a link, but a comment saying something like, well, the logical fallacy of popularity is on that list too. And yeah, so they got some of the fallacies right, and they got some of them completely wrong. That's right. The fact that they, there's lots of cases where somebody can be right about something, and then they're wrong about something else. So that doesn't mean anything. The fact is that it's a sloppily unintellectual page of listing of fallacies, and they have some on there that are not logical fallacies. Too simple is not a logical fallacy. Again, I'll say fallacies have to do with something that's fundamentally or intrinsically flawed. So a logical fallacy has to be intrinsically flawed. And if it's only flawed by degrees, then it can't be put in that category, because degrees will always be subject to interpretation. So you can't say automatically that's a fallacy. You can't do that. You can't call it a category error when the categories are ambiguous. It's that kind of point. It's only when the categories are sharply defined can you make the accusation of category error. I have to put my glove on. My hand's getting cold. Thought I could do without it. It really is still cold here, but it's supposed to warm up. So all this crap should start disappearing as we get back to normal December temperatures. It really has been amazingly cold for December. I mean, nighttime temperatures in the teens. You know, for you Celsius people, I guess that's like 7 below zero or something, or 5 below zero or something. That's a lot. It's cold. Betty cold for December. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about conversation and how do we make this industry? How do we do this better? And because it needs to sort of be better. I mean, I think some of it is, sometimes it's theater. Just in the way people have a performance to them. It's like almost the religious nuts. There's a certain performance or theater to the passion with which they build up to their crescendo of Jesus loves you or whatever they're trying to say. And, there's it's propaganda, but it's kind of, even, I don't know how to, you can make a pretty good meal out of, crap, out of MSG and and freeze-dried and synthetic mush. And there's a certain art to that. You have to admire just for the art of it. The way it's perfected over time. And so there's certainly a lot of that in the world. We're getting Googled in the sense that we're being formalized. There's people who know the formula. It's almost going back to the Freudian pop culture movements, and the fact that when propaganda really started to roll, was back in the early 1900s. Where it became this whole mass psychology thing started to be understood. Man, this is just so. Who the fuck knows where I'm stepping, whether it's solid or not. Whoa. This is going to start melting and I'm going to be left thoroughly out of luck. Anyway, this makes the walk so much longer. You gotta do all this snow troggling. Anyway, I shouldn't complain, right? It's not 3 feet deep. But yeah, I'm gonna complain anyway. The bicycle guy was out again. Amazing. You have really got to be a fanatic to bicycle in the snow. Shit. Anyway, kind of reminds me when I was a kid. I used to have to deliver newspapers. I used to have to walk, miles. Take me like 4 or 5 hours when it snowed like this, and to do my papers. So it really does slow you down. So anyway, just a association thing. Anyway, propaganda, yeah, and formula. People are just so manipulated by, this formula of, getting them to think you're on your side, and, coming up with jargon, and it really does work, sadly. You say something like the death tax, and all of a sudden working people will think it's rational, to not tax inheritance as much as money made on labor. And it's just hilarious. And you're just like, wow, that can work? And you really don't want to go that road. You don't want to manufacture arguments to manipulate people psychologically, to merely hook them with some value of theirs and try to, hook your crap onto their value. It just seems so wrong. But rationally, you say, well, you got to win the war, and and the only way to win is to get the people moving in the right direction, to get them motivated, to get them hooked. Excuse me, to the right wagon, and progress. So yeah, all that's very interesting in terms of some sort of ethical landscape of trying to figure out when is it okay to compromise rational principles like the easiest way to the truth is a nice straight line. Just make a nice straight line to the truth. Shouldn't have to do all this bing bang boom bounce around bullshit. But the problem is people are in places. It's like I guess I could metaphor it as people are over here and 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 over here ideologically, and so there's no way to straight line. You have to go over here and over here and over here, and you have to go all over the place to try to hook all their different and funky values, because people have truly funky perceptions of value. They're emotionally moved by bizarre almost things. There's people who cry when their baseball team wins the World Series. That kind of, there's all kinds of stuff that from my perspective, it's like, holy shit, that's crap. But obviously I can't say holy shit, that's crap to their face, because then they'll get defensive, and there's no way I'll be able to hook them, because they'll be looking for the hook. They'll be calling me a hooker, and they'll be saying that guy's going to hook me. So you can't be perceived as a hooker going into the hooking game. That's why you have to do the political, baby kissing. I'm one of you, like you. Oh, have yourself a lovely white Christmassy thing. Oh, isn't it lovely, lovely, lovely? I'm all faggoty and gay, just like you. And yes, we're all secretly homo. No, I don't want to do that. Even though I might be secretly homo, I don't want to be singing that song. Yes, it's really homo. Fuck that shit. But yeah, who wants to lie their way? This is already hard enough work. And you're saying, oh shit, I gotta do all this hard work, and on top of it, I have to, humiliate the only thing I have, the only thing I value, the only thing I have left is my integrity, my sense of dignity, and I must sacrifice that also to the cause. I must do whatever it takes. Ugly. It just adds another couple of feet to the snow in terms of making it so hard to, walk the walk. When you know this is part of the way you got to play the game. It's almost like a video game. Some video games are so obnoxious to me, like football or baseball, because they'd make you waste, a half an hour, picking what color uniform your team was going to have, how big their feet were going to be, all kinds of bullshit. And you're like, can't I just play the fucking game? Do I really have to do all this crap? And it's just like, it seems like such, with all these pleasantries and all this smoozing and all this butt kissing just seems so like what a waste of frickin' time. It's like by the time you get that part done, you're going to be too done to, hook the hooks. By the time you just do all the distracting and all the antics you have to do to get them not to know what's going on, you're not going to have any energy left, to slip that hook. So anyway, I'm just partially making rational excuses for why, I don't do the extra work. It's because I don't want to. Yeah, because I'm tired and I'm all this bullshit wimpy shit, and I gotta do a little better, I guess. But it is ugly, and it is, I guess me even saying it out overtly is, saying it out loud. You can't really fool them that way. You can't let them know ahead of time, I'm going to try to, slide my, right between your, and without you noticing what's happening. And, if you let them know that's where you're heading, they're going to see you coming. So, I mean, if I was really committed, I would not publish this video, because this video is basically, explaining that, watch out, I might make you like me. I might try to make you like me. So be aware. I'm going to try to Freud you. So, yeah, well, fuck it. This gives me an excuse now to give up on it, because I've outed myself, so I don't have to play the game anymore, because I can't use the propaganda card, because I've revealed, I've shown that the cards are marked, so I won't be able to get you to play. But anyway, it is interesting to just contemplate the game of human motivation, because obviously we have these fundamentally divergent values. It's like my contrast is, this light on dark, and it's like your world is dark on light. It's entirely inverted, and we have the same processor, basically, fundamentally a lot of the same general life experience, and yet somehow, my world is completely different than your world. And that's really something to try to think of, how you can resolve that incredible conflict. And is there a way to turn my world your way, or for me to turn your world my way, without totally fucking one of us? Yeah, can the conflict be resolved peacefully? Can we both migrate, hold hands even? Is there some way we can make it happen without there being catastrophe in terms of the breaking of your life structure? Don't think so. Yeah, I mean, it really is. So it's going to be rough. Some of it. Fortunately, some of you are just a little tilted. Some of you just have, pink snow, and I think I can get you out of the pink without it hurting too much. So some of the differences are small enough that we can overcome them, and so that's worth pursuing. But in the hard cases of conflict, it might be best just to say, that's hopeless. Anyway. Yeah, that's enough. Hey, you still see my footprints. Cool. Yeah, I thought they would have been covered by the new snow, but they are not. They're just dulled. I guess the snow wasn't blowy enough or something. Somehow it was sticky. It was brutally cold. Well, I don't know. Not gonna worry about it. Wow, it really is about 6 inches in places. But it's 2 inches in other places. Doesn't really matter though. So anyway, till the next time and such. So forth and whatnot. Signing off. Whoa.